talking about this important subject, what I want to do is feed you a little bit of the background here, and then James is going to take it over. First of all, I like James A. Holmes. I like him because he's a smart guy. I like him because he's very congenial. I like him because he likes to go where others have not gone. He's kind of one of those moonwalking characters. Only he didn't have to go to the moon to figure it out. He figured it out right here in Colorado. I like him because he challenges me. I like him because he makes me laugh. And the point of the matter is here is this man deserves to be listened to. And he's doing things that would curdle the blood of any other writer in the world. Any other writer in the world would say, oh my God, he's got his name on my art. Yep, he does. It doesn't bother me. It excites me, actually. The possibilities here. What I want you to get out of today is not some slavish copying of what he's did. That's not the point. I want you to get the spirit of the enterprise. I want you to understand that I sit here in Cambridge, Mass., the intellectual capital of the entire world. I sit right across the street from Harvard University. President went, President Bush, and Chief Justice of the United States, and all these other grand poobahs of the neighborhood. They're all here. This is the smartest place in the world. And I sit here and I chirp. You couldn't afford it. You couldn't afford my price on a single piece, much less 100 pieces. The 100 pieces would cost you $250,000 minimum. For 100 articles that I wrote, it would cost you $250,000. I'm giving it to you. And if you don't use it to the furthermost degree, you're crazy. You're just plain loco. So James is going to show you how he did it. But before this meeting is over, we're going to have a little come to Jesus revival meeting here. It's deep in my blood. What you're going to do is you're going to pledge me, each and every one of you, I want you to think about this, you're going to pledge me that you are going to use this stuff to the uttermost comma. You are going to promise me that you will, every comment that comes in that has any positivity about it at all, you're going to post that on the main screen of the Live Business Center. You're going to promise me, on a stack of Bibles, you're going to promise me that you're going to contact these people or invite them to invite them to contact you. In other words, you're going to use these leads. You're going to generate the leads that we already know these articles will generate, and you're going to follow it up. I'm going to give you time now while James is talking to get your little statements together, but I want to see some mighty good pledging here. If I don't see it, James, it's all yours. Tell us what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you're doing it and what's coming about.
Okay, Dr. Lant, thank you. And I want to, just quickly, I want to thank Linda Elzy, too, because, it's rare that you find a place where people that are having success, especially at the level that Linda's having it, are willing to tell you, upon request, exactly what it is they're doing to create the success. And so, Linda, I just want to thank you for your leadership here and for being so open. And that also is very much an inspiration, I think, for everyone. And I see a lot of new names, in the room here. And for those of you that are new to World Profit, you're going to begin to discover things that even as great as the offer is, and it's the best offer on the internet, there's a whole other side to World Profit now that you're here. And this is part of it. And I want to thank you, Dr. Lant, for your mentorship and inspiration, because there are so many areas of my life that have been influenced by watching the way you conduct yourself. And it's really caused me to dig deeper. And this area of the articles is one of those areas. And what I've done, you guys, is just simply followed exactly what Dr. Lant suggested, which is to take the articles that he's producing and repurpose those for our own use. I mean, he's given us permission to do that. Now, there's something I want to say, that whenever you copy one of Dr. Lant's articles, you absolutely have to leave the attribution box there. And I've seen a couple of you that have done that on the web that haven't done that. In other words, you didn't write the article. I think Sandy made a comment about this in an email a couple of days ago. You're free to use them, but you really ought to keep the attribution box there because Dr. Lant is the author. Now, the things that I've done with regard to writing introductions to his articles that I put on my blog, it's fine if you guys want to copy and use that as well, but again, you need to leave the attribution there, and I've seen a few examples where you've kind of just copied and pasted both the article and the introduction and didn't give credit to either myself for the intro or Dr. Lant for the article, and it just is not the right way to do it. So it's just a little comment, and you just want to really do this stuff really correctly. So what I've done is I've always tried to figure out new ways to distribute the content. I'm going to share some things with you guys today that are jewels if you take a hold of it and use it. Now, I said earlier, and yesterday as well, that my intention by showing you guys this stuff is not for you just to clone it. But if you want to, I'm not saying don't do that. But I'm saying my intention is to get you to think outside the box. So for you, it may be something different. You may think of some other ways of using Dr. Lant's content that are your own, or that fits your personal skill set or your passion and the way you want to communicate to people. The point is, do something. Take the articles and do something. If all you do right now, you feel like the best you can do is copy and paste this into your blog, then do that. That's better than nothing at all. If you can go that little extra step and write your own introductory paragraph and relate the article to something in your own life. I mean, why do you want to share this article? What is it about the article that you found interesting or important or relevant to your own life? And share that story, because that's what's going to get people connected to you. It's one thing if you can read Dr. Lant's articles in 20 different places on the web, and there are many more than that, by the way, that you can read his articles. But it's even better if someone can read that article and understand why you chose to share it. What is it about you that you connected with in that story that he's written, or that article that he's shared, that makes it relevant for you? And that's what will get you people picking up the phone and calling you, or leaving a comment on your blog, because they can relate to your story. I want to share one quick comment that was posted to my blog, because Dr. Lant is asking that you do this, and it really is powerful. This was someone that wrote a comment and posted it on my blog in response to Dr. Lant's article about cyberbullying. This is a lady that has a daughter that's in college. And if you see where it starts up, where it says, "Thank you for addressing the sensitive subject," that is her comments. Her name is Elise Curry, and she's in Florida. These articles reach people. And I could have gone into my blog and picked out dozens of comments, and you can go there and read them, that people have left regarding everything from the royal family to cyberbullying to how to make money online to being tired of being beat up on the internet and basically robbed at the click of a mouse by other opportunities, and people that are thanking Dr. Lant for the information and thanking me for sharing it. So when you begin to create that, and like everything else that George teaches us, that this stuff takes time, if you begin to develop a inventory of articles on your blog, an inventory of comments that have been left on your blog, you'll begin to find eventually over time it reaches a tipping point where you begin to see the results. And that's the point that I'm at now, where I'm getting traffic that I track. I use KStats. It's a plugin that George Kosh has given to us, basically, in terms of a recommendation. And with KStats, you can track literally where every click to your site is going, or is coming from, and where they're going. And whenever I post one of Dr. Lant's articles, my stats for that day always go up, and they stay there for a couple, 3 days. And I can track the wave and the flow of traffic based on me republishing these articles. That's why I do it. Why did I take the time it took? And again, and let me give you this. This is the book, in case you didn't get it yesterday. Let me give you a link to the download of the ebook. It's 160 some pages and 10 chapters and 58,000 words, is because it works. It wasn't a vanity piece for myself or one for Dr. Lant. It was something that I did because it generates response. When you guys get to that site, you'll see that it appears as though some of the text runs over the frame, but if you download the PDF, it comes out just fine. And you should take it, and you should study it as a way of understanding how to repurpose content. And I'm excited to see what is the result of this in terms of traffic generation, because I know it's going to be huge. So here's basically my fundamental game plan. And I shared some of this before with you guys, but I want to share it again. When Dr. Lant publishes an article, what I do immediately is read that article as the reader. In other words, I'm not reading it as a marketer. I'm reading it for the intent that it was written, to share a lesson. That's the intention that Dr. Lant has put out there. He's a teacher. He's teaching a lesson. So I read it for that purpose, with those eyes. Just what is the lesson here for me? And then I try to think if there's something in my own life, whether it's an experience I've had personally, something that I observed that I think is that I agree with that he's written, or something that I may not agree with as far as an opinion. And I try to glean from that 1 or 2 lessons from it. And then I simply write a 1 to 2 paragraph introduction to the article, and I share whatever that is. So I can say to in the article that I recognize this point that Dr. Lant made because in my own life this has happened, or whatever it would be. And then I take those 2 paragraphs, I paste them into my blog, and I simply do a copy and paste of Dr. Lant's complete article, unedited, just as he's presented it. And at the end of that, I always include a little paragraph that says about Dr. Lant or about the author or who is Dr. Jeffrey Lant. And I give Dr. Lant his proper credit for the article and a little bit about his background. I also always include at least 2 links to my World Prophet website or to one of the landing pages that George has created or Sandy Hunter has created and provided for us. And then that then publishes the article to my blog. But that's only the first step, and this is where the jewels come from. And so write this stuff down. This is golden, what I'm going to give you guys right now. I have provided a way for people to get out over the social networks. And so George has got some plugins that he recommends. There's a Facebook like button or a tweet button to tweet out a blog, or a StumbleUpon or Dig or any of the social bookmarking sites. You want to have logos for those sites that are links on those blog posts, so people can simply click a link and share that article out on their Twitter page or on their Facebook account. That's one critical piece. That's how you begin to get this stuff to go viral. The second thing I do is I go to a site called Pingoat, 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 or Pingler, Pingler, and I copy and paste the link into those sites. What those do is they create a call to action for all the search engines to go out and check out your blog because you've posted new content there, and they spider that blog and index that content. That's gold, right? I just gave you right there.